Aries, and welcome to your Astroflower family meeting for the 13th through to the 19th of June. How you doing? Were you that knight in shining armour last week? I hope you didn't sacrifice yourself. Okay. So we had that sort of coming through for you last week. If you want to be part of the Astroflower family, it's not very complicated. It's very simple. All you need to do is subscribe and click that bell, and you'll be part of the Astroflower family. Just for those of you who don't know, this is the relationship, emotional sort of side of life. This is the money, finances, business, projects and jobs side of life. This is the energy that's flowing through you. This is the outcome for the week and how it progresses into the following week. This is the two karmic paths on your relationship or your emotional side and your financial sort of side. There's a lot going on at the moment in energy. I thought I'd like to say this before we actually start the reading, because it's really important to know. There's a lull in the vibrations, a real moment where the tide is coming in, it's stopped before it goes back out. And in that moment of calm, it's really good to have a good look around you to see what's going on. I did this on this Cymatic TV, which is linked in the descriptions below, along with lots of other links to learn about the elements, the petals, and the whole Astroflower system. And on that channel there, Cymatic TV, we go into getting the messages from the Earth, the chakra sequences, and it all seemed to be between two areas. It was in this lull sort of situation that I've been talking about. But the message that was coming out from the Earth was the human race needs to take a good, hard, cold look at themselves. And this could have something to do with the fact that Saturn has gone into Aquarius at the moment. It went in on the 7th of June and will be there right through to the 23rd of October. Now this ties into the solar eclipses and the lunar eclipses that happened in May that will also be happening in October. So there is a real beginning, middle and an end. And I think this middle section is a case of taking a good hard look at ourselves as a collective. How can we change the collective is by lightly and gently changing oneself. You don't want to go into 90-degree turns. Energy is not the best at that. They like sort of smooth lines. So just take that into account when going into this reading for this week, because it'll be good for you to know and understand how these sort of lulls are going to really affect you at this present time. Okay, so let's just get an overall reading what's going on. Wow, that's petal 10. The outcome is really important. It seems to be, I don't want to say building up walls, but what it's doing is creating a situation where if you want to get into Aries life at the moment, you've got to be straight and do the work. That's what it seems like. It's it's coming in from the universe as well. It's almost creating this sort of like triangular factor. Very solid positioning for you. Yeah, let's see. We'll see how that plays out. Let's get the first message from the overall energy, which is in petal 6. And let's see what the overall energy is going on there. That's also being pulled in there to that side. There is no doubt of who you are. That's what the message is. And I think with this case here is usually with the Two of Swords, it's difficult decisions that we don't look and take the bandage off and have a good look around it. And I think this is not the case for you. I think this is more of a case here, sort of saying, if you know who you are, if you feel sure within yourself, then you could probably go through this blindfolded in a way, because the criteria that you put in place in your life should be enough to have those healthy boundaries, which will only allow things into your life that are beneficial for you. If you haven't got that solid foundation within yourself, it probably is saying to you here, take a breather, look around you, take a good look at everything that is around you before you start making decisions. That's what it's sort of saying there as well. So it depends on how you come into this. If you're part of the Astroflower family, you would have got into the rhythms of the Astroflower. You'd know that if you've got the book, the Astroflower Aries, which is linked in the description below. And once you get into these rhythms here, and once you get into the Astroflower system, it really does help you get the best out of life, no matter what the situation. And you can almost, capture what is going on ahead. So it helps you to position better for all the stuff coming in. So when things do come into your life, they're not devastating. You can work around them with a greater ease. And they're not always going to be easy, but you can definitely work your way through it. Let's just go through, let's see what's going on the karmic path on the relationship side. Because on this side here, you had sort of, I think you had the Queen of Cups down in this position here. And you had the King of Pentacles up there and the Queen of Swords. So it was very regal week. And this week here, by the looks of things, this is coming from the outside here. So it's basically how you interact with your family, friends, community, partners. And it's now marrying those two sides of how you position yourself according to the world around you. So once you've positioned yourself, then that's going to ask other people to position themselves according to you as well. And they can then position, then therefore you can adjust your position. And that's how it goes within a relationship. That's what the Two of Cups is all about. And I think this here is actually passing over from a very spiritual or ethereal, metaphysical way of looking at things, and getting more into the physical way of looking at things, and marrying those sort of two sides, the unseen and the seen, the material world and the metaphysical world, or the physical world and the metaphysical world. So I think this is what it's saying here. It's certainly pushing out within the relationships. Let's just see what's going on. How's the universe sort of guiding you here? Slowly but surely. Rome wasn't built in a day. That's what the message is here. And it's definitely building up from the outside. So the universe is sort of saying, as you build, the universe will be with you step by step. But it's not going to go ahead of you and create stuff. It's actually going to support you more than anything else. So Four of Cups. A lot of people are having the Four of Cups at the moment. Just wondering if you did have the Four of Cups last week. No, you didn't. So if you're willing to do the work, if you're not just going to sort of sit back and Aries, you like doing the work. There's no doubt about it. And if you do the work, you're definitely going to get that Ace of Cups absolutely filled, which is just there. But it is a case of here of being conscious of either your position in life or conscious of what is going on around you in order for you to get the best out of this. Because it could mean missed opportunities if you don't do that building work of the Empress in that card there. So the universe will be with you step by step, but the work's got to come from you to start with. So investing or creating situations that are physical, tangible situations within your relationships, and that could be like a family barbecue, that could be going out doing some sport with some friends, that could be going to the theatre with your partner. There's lots of things, but I think you need to instigate a little bit of that sort of side, turning your love into something physical. Okay, let's see how your guides are doing here. They're very active. They're really sort of like kind of going, yeah, let's get involved. Let's allow people into your life. And this could have come from last week, when you've been that very that shining light for other people, but without sacrificing your light. And now you're going to have people around you that you'll realise that you're going to have people around you that are really beneficial, not only for you, but for them and for the community as well. And this is all about sort of like, shared love, community love. Two of Wands. So it is a card of action, because she's planning her way forward. So this is how, as they're saying, they're inviting people in, and it's really sort of even-sided sort of situation where it's inviting people in, which is going to stimulate you of how you can position yourself according to their new position, according to your position, etc., etc. So you can actually start building a definite future within your relationships, within your community, such as your family and your friends, and etc. And that will help you to sort of progress and sort the chaff from the wheat, basically. Let's see how the guides are trying to influence the conversation that is within you. This is coming more from within you than the outside world here. So it's almost as if you're asking questions of the outside world, and sort of saying, I'm this type of person. How does that sit with you? That's the sort of question it's sort of asking here. And there is a push outwards, but it's not massive. It's more sort of just seeing where the limits are in life. So Page of Pentacles, which is all about long-term plans, which you had the King of Pentacles in this position last time round. And this is what it is. So it's positioning yourself, and then therefore it's asking questions of the outside world, planting those seeds for future long-term relationships. So you might be getting this conversation within you about that sort of, within that family barbecue, or that eating with friends, or going to the theatre with your partner. You're going to discover things along the road that are going to help you to actually explore your life a lot more, and the lives of the other people that are around you within the relationships. So it does look very, there's been no real fast cards. There was fast cards last week, but there was no fast cards this week in most people's reading. I've pretty much done everybody so far. There's only a few left to do, but nobody has had a lightning energy at the moment for this coming week. It's a very much a more sort of kind of calm energy, wait and see sort of scenario. Let's see what's going on. And this is what I think is happening on this side. It's helping you to build bridges, basically. Let's see what's going on your money side. So you've got the karmic path here. You've got the Lovers, and it's coming from you, but it has to. It's coming from you, but it has to. It's a little bit like the universe here. It's coming from you, and if you put in your salt's worth, you should be getting something back. This is that whole sort of thing about not sacrificing yourself, I think last week as well. And it's falling in love with what you do. And it doesn't necessarily mean the job itself. It could be the actual people who work at the place you're working with, and enjoying working with others within the job you do, which makes the job so much better. And it is falling in love with your career path, with your business, with your projects, basically. Let's see how the universe is affecting your karmic path. It's like a double wave. It's coming from a very precise, powerful point, and that strong, powerful point is actually, it's like a electrical power station. There's a lot of electricity being created, but it's been spread over a lot of different areas, and that's what it seems like here. So what's the actual message here? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Because if you do, you'll get this sensation of feeling stuck, basically. Don't paint yourself into a corner. I think that's what the universe is trying to help you with here. And if you've fallen in love with what you're doing in life, or you're starting to discover what you want to do, don't paint yourself into a corner. So being a little bit more sort of flexible, which can be a little bit difficult for Aries, But then again, life should be a bit of a challenge, or else it'd be really boring if it was really easy. So let's just see how the guides are trying to influence your karmic path on your money side. This is really building financial wealth, building stature, building weight within your job or within your business or your projects and what have you. But what's the message coming in then? If you want to accomplish everything you want to do in life, you're going to have a solid plan going forward. And I think this is what it's doing here. It's building up stuff that you can use in the future that you may not need to use straight away. It's building up like a buffer, like a buffer zone. So you can rely on that when things are a little bit more difficult, or if you need to invest a bit more time or money into your jobs and etc. 10 of Cups, reflecting that Two of Cups really nicely. It's building on happier, the dream life, the whole ideal of living the ultimate life. That's what it's trying to build up there. And in order to do that, you need a really good foundation. So your guides here are trying to bring things in your life that are actually really going to give you that solid foundation to go forward into the joy of what you want to do. Let's just see how the guides are trying to influence that sort of conversation that is within you. It's like they're trying to make you untouchable. Like you're on the top of a mountain that no one can touch you. They've got to get up that mountain in order to touch you in a way. And from there, you can really see clearly in front of you. It's making you feel, your guides here are trying to make you feel a lot more secure about yourself. And I think that's sort of like mitigating that Two of Swords, really. You are your own captain, your own steward, as it were, within your life. And you should realize you're worth a lot more than you actually are. The Moon. So this is, if you're on top of that mountain, you're going to be able to see a lot further, as I say, than everybody else. You're going to be able to see a lot more of the unseen things, the opportunities that are coming in for you. And this is where the foundation is going to be in place. The two things are trying to build at the same time. So you're building that really solid foundation for you. And then the other guys there are trying to actually give you the insights so you can know how to use that foundation going forward. Let's just see how it's building here. And this is where we come back to that wall factor. It really is. Let me see what the message is there. It's like you like a train or a bus. Let's say a bus. A bus can take, 50 people. And you've got 100 people that want to get on the bus. And this is where it's kind of sort of saying the limit is 50. There's no more than 50. We can't do more than that. And it's like you are setting the boundaries of the world around you. So you're not getting invaded by the outside world. You're not getting overwrought by the outside world. And you're really bossing it up in a way, but bossing it up as a community person within the greater community. So that not only that shining light that you had last week, which was that sunshine and what have you, the way you did things slightly differently will make you a magnet for people who want to join on your bus. And you've got to have those healthy boundaries in place. Otherwise, unfortunately, humans collectively can be a little bit sort of troublesome, or even individually. And you don't really need this trouble, Aries, at the moment, because you're being called to something far greater in the future. And it's setting those boundaries up. So for next week, and by the looks of things, I think we're going to get a lot more the vision of the long-term opportunities that are within you. King of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. So that Knight of Pentacles is all about the longer term journey, that harvesting, that planting those wheat seeds in the field and not seeing any of the benefits from that wheat field for 6 months to 9 months, depending on where you are in the world. But it's understanding that long-term plan. And I think this is where this calm we're getting this week, I think it's going to allow you to see a lot further out into the world and work on that long-term plan. There's a lot of things going into place, a lot of work that's under the surface here for you, Aries, this week. But I think it's very important work. A lot of small stuff, but that's the important thing that's going to make for a very much more sort of solid path going forward. Yeah. So there you go, Aries. I hope this helps you out for this coming week. If you want to know more about the Astroflower, there's plenty of links in the description below. There's a link to your book, The Astroflower Aries. I also do personal readings if you so desire. That's also linked in the description below. Yeah, and I will see you also on Cymatic TV for the energy updates. In the meantime, Aries, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.